3 o'clock here, and I hope wherever you are, you're having a good day and being kind to one another. I am doing a take 2 here because I had some issues with doing the initial broadcast, and it was just a short broadcast that I was doing. I can see something on my YouTube channel, but it doesn't appear to have gone right, so hopefully this broadcast will go right. And this broadcast is particularly about this car. I'm going to go into preview mode via the Livery Editor tool. And this car happens to be a real car, a real Dodge Viper that is owned by a gentleman that I met over the weekend at 2 different car events. I'm just going to go into outdoor mode so we get the proper look. Was at an event on Friday with my car, and for those of you who don't know, I've got a F80 M3 competition in black. There are some videos on the channel that you can have a look at. There will be more. I've got a whole pile of them sitting in my GoPro that I haven't yet edited and published, but I will soon. Anyway, this beautiful Viper rocked up about 15 minutes after I arrived, and I came over and started talking to the owner and his friend, and we ended up spending most of the night chatting with amongst ourselves and a group of other people who were at the event. And it turned out that we got to speaking about the Cars and Coffee event that was happening the following morning, and he said he's going, and I said, oh, I'm going too. So we caught up again. He put his car on display, and understandably got lots of interest. It was the only Dodge Viper there, and it's true that there are not many of these cars, and this is particular model here in Australia, so it is a very unique car and a very cool car. I think this style I like much better than the original ones because the body seems more smooth, if you like. Anyway, after talking on Saturday, I said, alright, I'm going to take some photos. I'm going to create a livery in Gran Turismo 7. And so here it is. Now, a couple of things to note. This is not the exact model of Viper that he has. This is a 2006, I believe from memory. His is a 2009. And so the first thing I can tell you is that the bonnet on this version of the Viper is different to his. You can see on either side there are 5 louvers, and it's quite a rounded bonnet bulge on this version. On his version, he has 3 large louvers on either side, and the bonnet scoop is more linear. And so as a result of this bonnet being slightly different, it does appear a little bit different to his car, and it also means that doing the stripes, how they end at the front of this car, are a little bit different to how they look on his. But overall, there wasn't a lot of work to do to make this car look like his car. The wheels are pretty accurate, albeit that it says Spoon Sports, but the style of wheel is correct. The brake calipers are correct. The number plate is correct. And obviously the striping is correct. So I'm going to share this video link shortly on another YouTube channel link, which is actually a channel that's created by a gentleman by the name of Frank Porter. Frank Porter is a guy that goes to a lot of these Cars and Coffees events and does videos of either the cars at the show or the cars leaving the show. And I contacted Frank yesterday because my car was obviously captured in his channel, my real M3. And hopefully I'm going to try and catch up with Frank, and maybe he might do a little bit of a video capture of the car as part of his channel. But we'll see. But in the meantime, I'm hoping that he won't mind that I post the link to this YouTube video so that my friend can find it, because I stupidly didn't get his details. I told his friend what my YouTube channel was, but again, you know, them remembering to look and see if I've done this creation and broadcast is another thing. So anyway, so that's that. What I might quickly do is just quickly share couple of other liveries that I've created over the last couple of days, so I'm going to take 5 minutes, if that. Because there's a couple that I've created that are brand new. There are some that I've brought over from Gran Turismo 7. But I won't show those now. I'll just show the brand new ones, and there's really just 3 I want to show. There are a couple of others, but I think I've already done the broadcast. This is one of them. So for any GTR R32 fans out there, hopefully you like the livery that I've done for the R32. I'm just going back into preview mode so we can see it properly and do full 360 rotation, and I'll change it to outdoors because I just think that's the best way to view the livery. So again, I tried not to do too much by way of you know, brand stickers and things like that, but there are a couple of things that I still want to do to this car before I share it, but only like 4 or 5 decals max. Something at the back, something at the front on the bottom spoiler, or the lower spoiler. And that's really it. Otherwise it's ready to go. The idea was that I just wanted to create something bright, but also something that was kind of unique. Still has some presence, the R32. I think it will always be my favourite GTR. May not be the fastest, most competent or capable, but I don't know, I have so many memories of seeing them race in Australian touring cars and at Bathurst, and I just think it's a nicely proportioned car. Anyway, that's that car. Let's just jump out of here now and jump into one of the other cars that I recently made. Sorry, it takes a few steps to jump between the different areas within the game to do this. So apologies. The second car I want to show is this Lamborghini Countach. Now this is the 1988 25th Anniversary Edition Countach, which if you do the maths would tell you that the first Countach came out in No, I don't think it was actually the Countach. It was just the Lamborghini Anniversary Edition, because 25 years from 1971 doesn't add up. Anyway, let's go have a proper look at it. So what I tried to do with this livery is, firstly, I wanted to try and match the outside paint to the inside leather interior. It's not exactly perfect, but it's pretty close. And then the second thing I wanted to do was just kind of play around with some shading to highlight some of the lines in the shape of the car. So it's a very simplistic livery. See, I've done some work there on the engine cover, putting some little style bits on it. And I like the wheels. I really like the wheels that I selected for it. Looks really good. Still an impressive looking car today, isn't it? Yeah. Someone had told you that this car was actually designed and released back in 1973, I think it was. I think most people would go, no way. But yeah, it was. The original Countach. Didn't have these flared guards and the other extra bits that are on it, such as the front spoiler and the little side skirt pieces, but essentially it's the same shape. Alright. Let's go with one more car, I think, because the other cars I don't think are new or what I have not already broadcasted. This third car, and I'll pick the right one is actually an entry into a competition. It's being run by GT Planet, which is a website for all things to do with Gran Turismo, but also some other online racing games as well, to be fair. But yeah, I hadn't entered into these competitions before, but one of my friends in the game mentioned to me that there was this competition, and so I thought, alright, why not? Let's do a livery to enter. And for me, when I was growing up, the arcade game Galaga was a very favourite game of mine, and so I thought, well, that would make sense for me to do something around the game called Galaga. It was around the same time as Space Invaders, sort of a bit more of an upgrade on Space Invaders in terms of the way the game worked and the graphics. But yeah. So I've tried to go for a proper themed game. Haven't tried to do anything too outrageous in terms of the design, but again, just tried to make sure that the car itself isn't lost in the graphic. Okay. Well, I hope you liked those 3 liveries. As I always say, really appreciate anybody that subscribes to the channel. Really appreciate if you follow the channel. Really appreciate if you leave comments. In fact, comments are fantastic because it helps me to understand what other things I should be putting on the channel. I also launched today the Warped Drive Facebook community. So much like Warped Drive YouTube channel, I really want to build up a community on Facebook for Warped Drive. So if you get a chance, please have a search for Warped Drive, and hopefully we'll get to chat on there or exchange content or share comments. But otherwise, I might end the broadcast now. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching, and thanks very much for leaving any comments as well. And more importantly, please enjoy your day and be safe and be kind to each other. This is iflowboy for Warped Drive saying bye for now. Cheers everyone.